Do you have a few favorite bits of Astros trivia over the last few years that you've discovered?
I guess one thing that just came to my mind right now was back in the 60s. So when they opened up the Astrodome and they had the Skyboxes, 53 Skyboxes on the top level 9. Roy Hoffines felt that they could put the most expensive seats in the house at the above the upper deck. And a lot of people thought that was nuts at the time, but he proved that was right with these private boxes. But then they had a private restaurant called the Skydome Club up there, and it was a Japanese steakhouse with these wallscapes of the universe and black lights, and they had these invisible clear chairs, that people could sit in to where it kind of simulated like they were floating in space, and all this luxury that was up there, and it was prevalent throughout the Astrodome. But Alan Shepard was a partner in one of these skyboxes, and he loved hot dogs. And that was, of all the things that they had up on the skybox level, they didn't sell hot dogs. They had them down on the upper deck, which was another 2 floors down. So he asked the server in the suite, in the skybox, if, hey, I'll give you some money. Could you run down there and pick up some hot dogs for us up here? And the server went down there and said, yes, Mr. Shepard. So he brought him back up. But then what happened was Alan Shepard brought his own hot dog machine. There's a little bun warmer and a little roaster and everything, and set it up in the skybox. And back then, the AirServe was the concessionaire at the Astrodome. His name, if I remember correctly, his name was Frank Keogh, I believe. I'm almost 100% certain. Frank Keogh. So he was like the director of AirServe back then, the concessionaire. He's like, oh, we can't have any outside food coming into the stadium, and he kind of refused and told Alan Shepard he couldn't have it here. Well, Alan Shepard was real good friends with Roy Hoffines. Alan Shepard was one of the guys that Roy Hoffines called and said, look, we're changing the name of the team from Colt 45s. We've narrowed it down to either Stars or Astros, and that's the type of guy that Alan Shepard was to Roy Hoffines. I mean, he confided in him and actually valued opinions and such. So when he found out Roy Hoffines was called by Alan Shepard, and Roy Hoffines is in his private suite in right field, and Alan Shepard's up on the skybox level, he said, hey, this guy, we're over here and we can't have these hot dogs and we're starving. And Roy Hoffines goes over there and shows up in the skybox, says, no, it's okay. It's totally okay. And let him have the hot dogs. We don't have hot dogs up here, and so they AirServe changed their tune, and Shepard's Special Hot Dogs was the nickname of his little machine, and they kind of became a little popular thing amongst the other Skybox holders around him, where he kind of shared with the other Skybox patrons around him. So that was something that I think a lot of people had never heard about before, and I'm not sure I had tweeted that before because it's a little bit of a longer story, but that's one of my favorites. That's something that just came to mind.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.